Why do people masturbate? This is a question that I received a couple of weeks ago. And it was interesting because I thought everybody knew why people masturbated. But that's obviously quite ignorant of myself. And so I thought, before I talk about this, to see what really would happen if this person would have not gotten a hold of me, a sex-positive sex educator that can help them understand how good masturbation is. But what if they go to the computer, and which I'm pretty sure a lot of people do. So I went to the computer, I punched in "why do people masturbate" in a Google search, and the top two results were from Christian organizations. The first one was giving me a quiz of how, if I answer all of these questions, then they can determine that I'm addicted to porn and how Jesus can help me with that. And the second one was talking about the shameful and sinful practice of masturbation and how that is not something that one should do. Sex belongs to a married couple, straight married couple, or a married couple between a man and a woman. So that is just not okay anymore. This is 2021, and there are sexologists like me, there are sex educators, there are sex positive people out there that will answer that question differently. And so I wanted to do that for you. Why do people masturbate? The first simple reason, plain reason, obvious reason for the people who do masturbate is because it feels good. The happy feeling, happy hormone, serotonin gets released, and it feels good. It feels good to touch your genitals, to have your blood flow increase, to have your muscle tension increase to the point where you can let it all go and have an orgasm. That is just a wonderful practice. So that's why about 95% of male people, of the male population, masturbate throughout their lives, and about 85% of the female population masturbate, or at least have at one point, and will continue through the rest of their lives. So, but you know this. You know that if you have touched yourself, then you know masturbation feels good. It feels good to touch yourself. I mean, we figured this out when we were babies. There's a statistic, there's a study that I found that was talking about how a 2 months old male baby has already become a skillful masturbator, and they do it all the time. There is the same research indicated that the baby girls, it took them a little longer. It took them about 8 months to be able to either find their genitals or come to that conclusion or figure that out, that they have also become skillful masturbators. And then the babies masturbate, they touch themselves, they have orgasms until the adults come in and say, no, that's what happened to me. I touched myself all the time, rubbed against poles or whatever. If that felt good, then when I touched my clitoris, I did it, and until I got caught, and then I took it into my own closet, and I had quite a hard time to bring it back out later on in life. So you notice that it feels good if you touched yourself, and that's the main reason why most people do it. Now, I want to give you a couple more reasons. The second reason is because when you don't have sex for one reason or the other, because you can't, because you don't have a partner, or because you have a partner that doesn't want to have sex or cannot have sex, then you will have sexual tension in your system. And masturbation can release that tension. And what people also use it for, they masturbate because they're afraid of becoming pregnant. That would be an alternative for their sexual experiences, and because they're maybe afraid of getting infected with a sexually transmitted disease. So it's a safe alternative practice, sexual practice, masturbation. And the third reason is from an educational point of view, from a sex positive sexologist point of view. Masturbation is the necessary thing for you to understand your sexual body. It is the one thing that can teach you about what your body, that can teach you to listen to your body, that can teach you what your body wants to tell you, what feels good. It's really that simple. Most of the exercises most of the homework that I give to my clients, if they have a sexual dysfunction, like a premature ejaculation, if they have anorgasmia, if they have shame and guilt attached to their sexuality, masturbation at one point will become one of the assigned homework. Because it is the best, like I said, it's the best tool that can teach you about your body. And that makes perfect sense, because if you would want to learn how to ride a motorcycle, you wouldn't buy a motorcycle with a sidecar so you can sit into the sidecar and have someone else drive you around. I mean, you don't want to have your experience depending on someone else's experience. You want to have your own experience, and that's what masturbation is for. So mutual masturbation is also a homework assignment that I give to my clients if there is challenges in the relationship, or whatever the concern is that makes it a difficult relationship, and when they both want to improve it, that is definitely something that at one point comes up, because mutual masturbation is not only hot and exciting, it is also very informative about some techniques that you didn't know your partner had or is doing with his own or her own genitals. So I know those are only 3 reasons, there's multiple reasons, but I just wanted to make sure that if there's somebody out there who has that question about why do we masturbate, that the answer is sex positive and professional and comes from an expert like I am. So have a good time touching yourself, and if you need any help, you give me a call, send me an email at martina@drfosh.com, and also maybe you want to take a look at the video that I did on masturbation. I've done a few and I will do some more, and maybe you want to check that out when you're done with this one. I'll talk to you next week.